All right, guys, this is week 13's recap. First and foremost, I want to thank y'all for continuing and making this one a good and successful season so far. We're gonna go right into the recap. The first thing I want to do is say that this game was the craziest game I've ever seen. I've seen crazier, but I'm gonna gas it for the video. The 12th man wins this one versus Tuanon, 130.42 to 127.56. And you might not think the score was close, but this game came down to the last play. The Saints had over 306 yards and they got sacked 7 yards back. Bro, I'm watching this game sick right now. Look at this, 1 yard, game over. Just like that, I lost by point 0.5, actually 0.1. Just like that. It's 1 yard. 1 yard. So yo, this is the craziest thing ever, yo. I'm watching this thing. Brady's getting garbage yards when he needs it. Like, wow, like, bro, like, this is abominable, like.
Three receivers check out for New Orleans. Shaheed.
Dalton in trouble and sacked by Nassib.
This also allowed them to get a sack in that play, and that gave me 3 points. Like, I was down, then I became up. So that was crazy. Next one was the high scoring game of the week. We have Love Hurts beating Tristan Thompson, or current last place person, 141.9 to 76.06. Next we have Joe G. Average Joe's 111.74 to Fresh Prince of Hilaire 99.92 or 22, whatever it is. Next thing we have Team Faison with 109.2 to Show Me Them TDs 75.56. Next we have I'm Sorry Miss Jackson winning this low scoring Titan matchup. I'm not even gonna say Titans. These guys are, one is locked in for a playoff spot. The next one is fighting to stay in. I'm Sorry Miss Jackson wins that one versus Ben Affleck 78.94 to Ben Affleck 63.44. And then we have the brother matchup. We have Turn 2 Panero versus Team Panero. Turn 2 Panero takes that one 121.78 to Team Panero's 77.84. Last matchup of the week, we had Kyler University at 104.2, beating Team Cardona at 63.98. And before we go into this week's matchups, let's talk about the standings real quick, because this last week is going to have a whole bunch of playoff implications. Right now, we have the 12th man sitting at the top of both divisions as the number one seed with a 10-3 record. If he wins this game by less than 50 points of Love Hurts' score, he will remain the number one seed. Love Hurts is currently number 2 with 9-4, and if he wins this game with more than 50 points above the 12th man's score, then he will get the number one seed. Also, if he loses a game, then and Average Joe's, Fresh Prince of Hilaire, Ben Affleck, or Team Faison wins their game by more than 25 points to his score, then they will move to the number 2 seed. Average Joe's is only 17 points behind him, so we'll see how that goes. We have is Average Joe's. He is third currently right now with 13.94 points for. And if he wins his game by 17 points more than Love Hurts, then he'll move to the second spot. And if he loses or wins, and Fresh Prince of Hilaire wins his game, by more than 10 points, Average Joe's score, then he will move to the third spot. So we have none of the positions are a solid lock right now. And that's the craziest part because this is week 14. Like, usually people are locked up in their positions right now. And as I said, the tiebreaker is points four. So the points that your team has scored all season will carry you through to solidifying a spot in the playoffs right now. Next we have is Ben Affleck. As I'm saying, number 3, 4, 5, and 6 are tied with the same record. Then we have number 6. Number 7 is in his position. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, with the last spot of the playoffs right now by 10 points above Tuanon and 100 points above Team Turn 2 Panero. So Turn 2 Panero might just be out of it, honestly. Big fighting spot right now is Tuanon beating anything that Miss Jackson scores by over 11 points. So this week is going to be crazy. If Miss Jackson loses, Tuanon wins with more than 11 points that Miss Jackson scores, then Tuanon will be in the playoffs. So, like, whole bunch of playoff implications. We have a bunch of people at position 8 to 14 that could ruin someone's season. Let's say if Team Panero, sitting at 6 and 7, wins his game and scores 200 points, which is an anomaly, but it's not entirely super impossible. But let's say he wins his game by 200 points, then he'll make the playoffs. We have Kala University could ruin someone's season right now if he wins his game with more than 50 points to Miss Jackson. But right now we have no position that's a solid lock right now based on points. But it's going to be an exciting week. We're going to go right into week 14's matchups. So week 14 we have the 12th man versus Tristan Thompson. Right now, the 12th man sitting at number 1. Tristan Thompson sitting at number 14. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson versus Kala University in a heated battle. Right now, their projected scores seem a little bit off, but they both don't have full rosters right now. We have Love Hurts trying to hold on to his number 2 spot versus Turn 2 Panero. We have Ben Affleck solidifying his spot if he beats Team Panero. We have Average Joe's versus Show Me Them TDs. We have Team Cardona versus Fresh Prince of Hilaire. If Fresh Prince of Hilaire beats his opponent by more than 27 points to Love Hurts' score, then Fresh Prince of Hilaire will move to the second spot if Love Hurts loses. So I'm not trying to throw anything into the universe, but this is a crazy week. Crazy matchups this week in fantasy and on the NFL level, being that this week is one of the heaviest bye weeks. We have about 6 teams on bye, but it's the last bye week for the season, so we go into playoffs next week. We have Tuanon versus Team Faison right now. Team Faison is right now sitting at 8 and 5. If he loses this matchup, he could fall down to the number 6 seed, which changes the entire projection or projected playoff brackets right now. So right now we have the 12th man sitting at number 1 spot. Hopefully he could get a bye. If he he goes on to the next round versus the winner of Ben Affleck versus Fresh Prince of Hilaire. Then we have Team Faison versus Average Joe's with a 6 and 3 matchup. Then the 7 and 2 heated matchup right now that has been building on since the beginning of the season. We have Love Hurts versus I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Anything can happen right now at this point in the regular season. So let's see how that happens. As I'm going to repeat, if you are not in the playoffs, stay your ass out the waivers. I'm just going to say that one more time. If you're not in the playoffs, stay ass out the waivers. This has been a wonderful season so far. Game lines are on the ESPN website, so if you want to check that out, if you're a betting man, you want to make some lines, sure, throw it in the group. We'll do it. Last thing I have to say is peace.